Alrighty,
Okay, we're good?
we are good.
All right. This meeting of the Bisbee Design Review Board is called to order by Lori Gannell at 5:30 p.m. on September 4th, 2024. I will now do roll call of the board. Bob DeCruff, absent. Peter Gaffer.
Present.
Lori Gannell, here. John Guy.
Here.
Ben Leffley.
Here.
Doug Taylor, absent, excused. Ted Schriever, we don't know where he is, but he's absent. Frank Davis.
Present.
And Emmanuel Nina is here in his place. And is Javier coming?
No, he's not.
He is not, okay.
He's
absent.
excused also.
He is excused. Excellent. Okay, at this point, we do have a quorum, so we will continue. Make a call to the public if there are any residents of Bisbee who would like to speak at this moment on a topic not included on the agenda. Anybody? No? Okay.
Lori, I have
Yes.
something. I would like to publicly congratulate Ben on his grant that he was given for the sidewalk on Main Street,
Oh.
the Prism sidewalk. I think that's a very unique feature in Bisbee. I don't know that I've ever seen another one anywhere. So congratulations, thank you very much.
Yeah, well, let's get it done and hang out.
And then we'll have a party.
Yeah, then we'll have a party.
Well, cool. No, I didn't know about that. That's awesome. Excellent. All right, great. Thank you, Mr. Guy. I'll close the call to the public and go to agenda item 1, application number 24-101, 237D Youngblood. Is Stephen Orios not here? Okay.
So I guess it
All right.
is.
So we
Motion
will.
to postpone?
Huh?
Can we make a motion to,
We can hold off in case they
In
come
case he shows up, we could go back to it.
Yeah.
And then if he doesn't show up, we'll make a motion to.
at the end. Mhm.
Postpone. Okay. And then we have a public hearing, but that's on his, so that will also wait.
Yep.
All right.
And then item number 2 is Mr. Guy's, so
Okay, item number 2 is Mr. Guy, and so,
So I'd be happy to speak to it if
well, we don't have a quorum to
Yeah,
vote on it, so
I think, table it?
so,
do you want to hold off just in case Mr.
in
Schriever?
case Mr. Schriever, so we'll revisit these
Just in case
two.
he's late.
Yes, because he could be.
You never know. So,
Anything on the horizon they're gonna
Not
listen?
any,
No?
me out of this.
yeah, just in case he's late,
Just in
then we
case
can
he's late.
table it at the end.
Boy, this is zipping right along with everybody else, you know? Agenda item 3, application 24-94, 313 Oak Avenue. Is Francis Hansen here? Okay, so, I don't know. Shall
We'll
we-
hold on to that one too.
Hold on, we'll just return to these. Everybody's late today. That's all that's really going on.
Yes.
All right.
And if need be, I might be able to call Miss Francis.
Okay.
So we'll go on
If need
to,
be, okay, so,
Yeah.
but we'll move along because the people that aren't here are getting bumped up real quick.
yep, there you
All
go.
right, agenda item 4.
Someone's coming through the door.
Oh,
Oh,
hello.
Miss Francis?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
you showed up just in time. We just got to
just
your
in time. We
item.
just got to your agenda item.
Okay.
So you want to come up to the microphone?
There we go. So, agenda item 3, application 24-94, 313 Oak Avenue. And Ms. Francis, would you like to tell us about your project?
Yes, I'd like to replace 4 of the posts that are there. I think I explained what they appear like and their existing condition, which has deteriorated quite a bit since they were installed. And what I want to replace those posts with are other posts that the center is actually wood, but then they are covered with an aluminum material.
Okay, so they're aluminum clad posts,
Correct.
okay? Thank you, appreciate it. Okay, then moving along to public comments, do we have anybody present who would like to speak for or against this application? Or any emails, none? Nothing, okay? Moving along, staff comments. No, nothing? All right, I will open the board discussion on this application.
I understand why you want to replace them, and one of them is sort of like this, it looks like it's about to fail. Gosh, it's a shame, because they are absolutely gorgeous.
I know, I think they're really cool,
Yeah,
too.
they are.
Yes.
I- I don't know what the solution is. I will defer to my colleague at the end of the table, because he might know a source for something close. It seems to change, but
I know there's, if you wanted to save them, I don't think they're historic of the house.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to save them, you could basically saw them in half, router out the middle, and put a steel post in them and put them back together. So it'll actually be steel columns, because they look fairly wide. But yeah, you could put a round steel post down the middle of them, and basically the wood would become decorative. And a local craftsman would be able to do that fairly
Yes.
easily.
The problem is that those existing posts really have a lot of cracks already in them. So if someone were to cut them in the center and, drill the inner part.
It might fall apart.
Yeah, that's,
they are in terrible shape.
Okay. I went to other houses, I didn't
Yeah.
go to that one, so.
They're really, really pretty, though. Yeah,
yes, they're
So unusual.
gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah. The ones you're proposing to put in are a sort of a ribbed, almost a Greek column. Is that the right word?
Yes.
Ionic?
Ionic,
Yes.
thank you.
But it's not my impression that they're actually Greek in style. I wanted something that would actually fit better than the ones that are there now with the whole look of the house.
Yeah, they're very simple. Is that right, the ones that
Yes,
you're proposing?
yes, something very simple, something that is more traditional and actually more in keeping with the historic appearance of the property.
But you wanted aluminum, you picked something with aluminum on it, right? So it lasts longer, or?
Yes, because I've had a lot of problems with carpenter ant infestation. And they've gone from one column to the next, and I think that they're really beyond repair.
Okay. Do we have any further questions or discussion?
I guess
Yeah. go
I
ahead.
didn't. What, I would hope that, you said it's wood on the inside and aluminum on the outside. I would hope that the wood on the inside is treated with a chemical, because otherwise the termites could just eat the wood on the inside, and then you're back to square one.
Yes, I'm aware of that, and in fact, I have used, and currently use, New Mountain Pest Control,
Okay.
and they're the ones that have done the treatment. And I want them to treat those posts that would be the replacement posts prior to installation. If you approve, of course.
Yes. I don't really have an issue with these posts. They look like they would be appropriate. Kind of ionic. That means they have a really simple base, and, yeah.
I mean, if you really wanted something traditional, it would be a 4x4 post turned on a lathe that's,
Yeah.
you know, has patterns in it, but this, you know, we don't know what the original ones look like, so, you know, if we're replacing something that's non-historic with something else that's non-historic, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys,
I feel that way as well.
Should we, like a motion?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to approve application 24-94 as submitted.
Okay, I second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. Okay, 4 ayes have it, we have a quorum, so your application passes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
You're welcome. Okay, now we're moving on to application 24-97, 20 Souls Avenue.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Christine Oxley. I'm a homeowner at 20 Souls Avenue.
Okay.
And what we've got proposed is the house is in need of some pretty extensive renovations. Much of it is repair, some of it is also trying to restore the original character. So for starters, there are several areas in the house that are in need of repair. There is about half of the house is wooden siding that is in very poor condition. It's been eaten by termites and animals. The other half of the house is vinyl. I'm not certain how that vinyl got there. We bought it like that. But we are basically looking to remove all the vinyl, replace it with wood siding in the style of the original, which appears to be a Dutch lap. And I believe that's a term for it. And then also repair and replace the existing siding where possible. Again, there's a really extensive damage to the wooden siding, so we'll try to keep as much as we can, but a lot of it is in very bad shape. There are also the windows in the home. There are 2 aluminum windows, one of which does not open, the other leaks. And then the other windows in the home are vinyl. Again, not original for the style of the house, and thankfully the vinyl ones don't leak, but we're looking for permission to remove the aluminum windows that are busted, remove the vinyl windows and replace them with aluminum clad wood throughout. These are going to be double hung windows. The aluminum windows don't appear to be, the window openings appear to have been widened to fit these aluminum windows. And so we're looking to basically replace those with aluminum clad windows that are more in keeping with the original dimensions. We were actually able to locate some old pictures. I unfortunately didn't attach them to the application, but you go next door to the Oliver House, they have some pictures of the houses that originally appeared. And that dimension, actually the dimension of the vinyl windows in front is the dimension that the windows used to be before they were replaced by aluminum. The roof also is a corrugated metal roof that is leaking and needs replacement. We're looking to replace it with copper R-panel, panels. Again, in keeping with the style of the area. There are some design choices that are, shall we say, not exactly keeping in the style of the house. It's a very modest house, but we're talking about some very ornate columns here. We're looking to replace some of those more ornate columns, some of them are also in bad shape, with something that's more in keeping with the style. It's a craftsman house. We're looking to replace it with fluted columns. The back deck is in extremely poor condition. Several of the posts have been eaten away by insects. You can actually, if you tap your knuckles on the post, it's hollow. And I actually did have to shore up the back roof over the porch with a 2x4 because it is that bad. And it's also not code. So we are looking to essentially rebuild that deck up to code, but also in something that is not going to collapse. There are 2 front doors, both in poor condition, only one of which opens. We're looking to make it so that both of them open, and we're looking to replace them with something that's fairly close to the original style, 32-inch opening. We're looking at some wooden windows from Geldwin with rain glass for privacy. But again, keeping with the original style, not too ornate. It is a craftsman home. And then in the back, there is an entry door that is 32 inches, if memory serves. We're looking to expand that to 36. 36 is code, and it's the back door. It's not, the public face of the house, shall we say. And so that is the one that we're looking to expand, again, to a 36-inch door in keeping with code. Sorry, you need at least one. I think that's it. Again, mostly just looking to repair the damage that's there, but also keep things in the original style, that 1919 Craftsman style home.
Thank you. I appreciate how thorough your presentation was, and to the point.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right, let's see. Now, do we have any public comments on this application for or against? And did we receive anything by email? Nothing. Okay, moving on, staff comments? Anything from you, Frank? Okay, moving along to board discussion.
Let's kick off. I went and had a look at it. I mean, I commend you for what you're proposing. I mean, I thought it was very good that you're taking out that vinyl siding, even though actually it looks pretty good. If you hadn't mentioned it, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. Ben would have noticed it, but I didn't.
It was one of the first things I noticed when I looked at the house. I'm like, ooh,
That's
vinyl.
too good. Yeah, it's too good. It's got that fake grain.
Yeah, exactly. It's convincing to everybody and
So,
nobody.
no, and I know it's I think it's non-contributing currently.
It's, yeah, not enumerated, so I guess it's
But,
not.
Exactly.
I think my only the back porch deck currently only just has a little roof over the door, and you're actually going to cover the whole thing.
Correct.
That's my
Yep.
understanding. The front porch, you're going to replace all 4 columns? Because 2 look in pretty good shape, and the other 2 were just 4x4s or something, no?
Yes, that's correct. We're basically looking to make them cohesive. I believe the plan was to definitely replace the 2 that were, there are 2 in the very front that have this very swirly pattern at the top.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not an architect, so I have no idea what that's called, but those were the 2 we're definitely looking to replace.
Oh,
And if memory serves, because again, they're not original to the style of a house. And I believe if memory serves, the other ones are kind of that fluid, that's what we wanted to keep.
I see.
It's mostly just those 2 very ornate ones that don't
Yeah,
belong.
I could see they don't match.
Exactly.
Presumably with 2 residences there at one time,
Mhm.
and so they didn't get along, so they put one in.
That makes sense.
And then the other thing was you're putting a pergola on the northeast corner,
Oh, yes, yep, sorry, I
That's all
regret
right.
to mention that.
which is, no, I think what you're doing is restoring a house that obviously needs a lot of TLC. I wonder why you bought it in the first place, to your lord.
We love everything about this house. We love, first of all, its location. We
Yeah.
just think it is the cutest little home. And we are really just very much in love with it. And I grew up in old homes. My parents have bought and renovated and sold more old homes than most people ever buy in their entire lifetime. And this is something that we know and we do well. And we all saw this house and went, yeah, this is nice, but we want to make it nice. We want to fix it up and make it a lovely little home. It already is, but we want to make it a more lovely home.
Did you consider replacing corrugated with corrugated?
We did, but we had our heart sets on the R channel. My parents live in upstate New York, and their mountain home, they had the R guide roofing, and they really liked it, so that's why we decided to go with something similar.
Well, I have nothing but good things to say about what you're proposing.
I'll go. So it looks like you have the 2nd generation of roofing on it. I think the original roof on this house was wood shingle,
Okay.
which most were in. I figured that out by looking pretty closely, and I saw some of the old wood shingles were under the existing corrugated metal roof. But that
That's
corrugated
correct.
metal roof is historic, so I think it should be replaced with like for like, so the round corrugated, but you can get it in that copper profile. For the front columns, did those show up in photos?
Are you talking about the photos that I looked at? I honestly couldn't tell. They're very poor quality.
Okay. Because those do look like, the 2 on the left do look like fairly old columns. that are in style with the house. I would disagree with you about Craftsman. I don't think it's Craftsman at all. I think it's Bisbee, Phelps Dodge, Miner's Shack, and which is its own unique style. Craftsman, I would say, is Craftsman has more orthogonal trim, a lot more heavy on the trim, wider proportions. The Bisbee Minor Shack is a little bit more vertical, very thin on proportions, very thin columns, always spun or chamfered on the corners for those porch columns, and a corrugated roof or a wood shingle roof. Nobody has wood shingle roofs, but they're all corrugated. So I would say it's definitely that. I do like that you're replacing the vinyl siding with the wood siding. I would say that the old front doors look original to the house and should stay for historic preservation's sake. The windows look like they're mostly, you can tell, aluminum or vinyl or?
It's hard, so on the northeast corner of the house, they are aluminum.
Yeah.
And like I said, those are the ones that leak. And then the other ones, there are ones on the northwest corner of the house, those are vinyl. There are windows on the south side, those are also vinyl. And then ones in the bathroom on the east side are also vinyl.
So I guess my point of view on this is definitely, replacing the roof, but with the round corrugated in keeping with, so it's like for like, whatever color you want, because we don't do that. Keeping the original historic doors, but the windows and the siding, I'm totally fine with, and keeping those two old columns, which look like they're fine. And you can get columns duplicated, so the Craftsman can take those old ones, the profile, and make new ones to match, because those do match other old Phelps Dodge houses in the area, that pattern. And the cool thing is actually those patterns are unique in and of themselves. They're always 4x4 or 6x6 lathe cut columns, but the patterns will be unique, which is kind of fun. And then people will paint them different colors on the stripes, which is pretty cool. But I would definitely would try and keep those front doors. And they're the typical Bisbee front door where you have 2 panels on the bottom and 2 at the top. If it's a solid door, or if it's one with glass, it's six lights on the top and the same 2 at the bottom. And that's how you can identify those being the original, because a lot of houses in the area have that. That probably sums up my comments. The other things like the back deck, the pergola they make, it's fine. I'm fine with those. It's just, for me, it's just maintaining some of that historic trim and maybe restoring them and getting them to swing and shut properly, more putting in elbow grease and some fine carpentry instead of taking them out and replacing them. Once you throw them out, that's it. Like you can't, that part of the history of the house is gone, right? Especially the old trim, so.
Can I just say something with regards to the front doors? I completely agree with you on the point that we should try to preserve them if at all possible. I did mention that they are in very poor shape. There is a significant safety and security aspect to that. Unfortunately, I am very visibly LGBT, and that's something that I have to think about significantly, having actually been targeted for violence before. And so that was one of our main reasons for replacing the doors, was that we would have loved to keep them, but I am gravely concerned that the condition of them is not going to lend itself to security, and that is very important. Especially as I work, I'm a very public-facing individual. I'm a physician, I own a business, my address is publicly visible online. and I'm almost certain that's how it was targeted before. So I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, just again mentioning that that was one aspect behind it, and thought I'd share that.
Did you see the condition of the front door?
It looked repairable. I think there are, beefing up the hinges and deadlocks, or maybe putting security door in front of it or on the inside be an option. But they are, the trim and those sorts of things are pretty hard to replace. That's the history of the house is gone when you do that. So, but there's other bugs. So,
How about, I agree with my colleague about I like corrugated roofs. That would make it a little bit more traditional. We see, there's so much of it in this town. I love metal roofs of all sorts, but would a corrugated roof be a problem for you? I mean, it's safe.
No, I don't think so. We didn't really have our heart set on our guide, but again, it was just mostly a preference thing.
Right.
But no, I don't think corrugated would be an issue. If we can get it in copper, which
definitely you can.
anything you want, okay.
And they last.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It'd be the same thickness, or big, like 26 gauge, I think is a good.
Okay, yeah, we wouldn't be opposed to that.
I mean, I find your argument about the door to be convincing, that if it is for you a safety issue, I would be, you find something that at least is consistent in style. Is it possible to find old Bisbee doors in good condition?
Well, you know what Ken Butch did on his house is he might have had a similar issue. He kept the old doors, but then he had a second door on the inside that. The old historic door was placed on the outside, looks nice, sanded, clear coated, looks really great, but then there's a solid door on the inside, so that could be an option.
He has two doors? Okay, that'd be extra safe.
Well, the way he did it, it looks really fantastic.
Yeah.
Sanded off all the paint, really nice. It's clear coats and everything. And it actually serves more as a storm door, so it actually really increases insulation and weatherization by having those two layers. So it's just an idea.
I tend to agree about the columns, if you can, because I see those turned columns on the porch, and they're very cool. If you could have a craftsman replicate those, I would prefer that to just removing them. I could be convinced about the door. I mean, I do agree with you, but I think sometimes that safety is important. And then, yeah, corrugated roof, good. I'm okay with all the windows and the replacing of the siding. I think replacing the siding is excellent, and that you're replacing it with wood. So, Mr. Guy, did you have anything? Yes. Go ahead.
I just wanted to explain, these rules aren't arbitrary. They're
No.
National Historic Preservation guidelines from federal government on down to state historic preservation office. And that's because the city of Bisbee is designated as a historic landmark. And so those buildings that are built, until the 50s within that footprint should follow those guidelines whenever possible.
Absolutely.
And if it is designated, I don't think yours is, there is a 50%, I believe, something like that. There's a pretty big sales or property tax break that offsets that increased, maintenance and stuff of the historic.
That's why something to look
Wanted
into.
to explain.
Yeah, how do you feel about the possibility of saving the front doors? I'm okay with the back door change because it's in the back. you know, and
No one sees it.
it's not an easement, so. But how do you feel about trying to save those front doors?
Like I said, I am definitely not an expert in architecture, construction, that's why I'm a physician, but if there's a way to make them more secure, I would like to try to, again, I'm totally agreeable to saving the doors. I just want to make sure it's safe for me and my family as well. I guess I would have to maybe get some ideas on how to do that. Like I said, just something that does weigh pretty heavily on me.
Yeah, for sure, and I totally understand. It's,
Can we cobble together a motion that would allow for it to encourage the applicant to revisit the front doors if at all possible, and then pass it on to Javier to, he's the building inspector, unfortunately he's not here. We load a lot of stuff on him. Because,
You do.
yeah. Probably he can assist you in, I mean, what Ben said, put a security door on the inside or whatever, make those, or somehow rebuild them and make them structurally sounder. That'd be, yeah. So that, go ahead.
yeah, I had something too, but yeah.
Yeah, please. Do you want to make a motion? or-
Oh, yeah,
No,
he was
no.
saying Mr.
Oh, big-
Gutmeyer had
big-
something.
Yeah, before the motion.
Yeah.
So my only comment, and it's probably not going to be a popular comment with the board, the historical value of the house, excellent. We really do need to stay as close to that as we possibly can, but the house does need to be functional. Having had to deal with old doors, it's just not financially feasible to install or to rebuild those doors. The locking mechanism no longer exists. The hinges are great, but they're old and they squeak, and they will always squeak. I feel that having columns that are matched to the original in the house, what we believe to be original, replacing some of the vinyl siding, replacing the windows with good aluminum-clad wood windows, and corrugated metal roof. I think those items are going to be a benefit to the town, and I'm not sure if it's a benefit to penalize the owner to spend 4 or 5 times more rebuilding a door as it would be to put in a period-looking new door that's safe, opens, closes, doesn't allow air to pass through when the door's closed. So I would be okay to foregoing the doors, provided the other items. And it sounds like you're amenable to the other items.
Absolutely.
I can make a motion similar to Peter, what I think you were getting at with, allowing some leeway with the door, with Javier to, discuss
Right.
with the contractor and you.
Go ahead.
What you're comfortable with.
Go ahead.
Do we have a motion?
Yes.
We did.
Let me make sure I get the right one here. Yes, okay. I make a motion to approve DRB application 2497 as presented with a corrugated roof to match the same pattern as what's on there, so it's like for like. And the 2 front columns on the right to be replaced to match the 2 on the left.
But you're meaning the ones in the northeast corner?
As you face the house, you've got 2 on the left, which are the turn
Turn
ones,
posts.
the 2 on the right look like.
Understood, okay.
Yeah.
And then for the applicant to work with Javier, the building inspector, to see if there's a way to strengthen the original historic doors or use them, as an outside, decorative door, secondary door, if possible. and everything else approved as presented.
I second the motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all against say nay. Okay, so you are approved with contingencies that Mr. Lucky just described.
Thank you
And
very much.
Javier's the building inspector, so he'll be coming out there at some point, he can look at the doors and discuss with you what the possibilities are.
Okay, we're working with Brian Hope, he's our designer, so
Yeah,
I imagine
yeah.
the two of them will probably chat. So.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, great house.
Yeah.
Excited to see it fixed stuff.
And,
Me too.
yeah, thank you for loving Old Toms.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you again.
Okay, I appreciate it. All right, agenda item 5, application 24-100.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Kelly. We're getting to your item right now. This is Nina with the Design Review Board.
Hi there.
Hi, hold on just one moment. I'm going to take you up to the members.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you guys?
We're good, thank you.
Good.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, do you want to go ahead and describe your project for us?
Just a particular part that wasn't approved.
Yes.
Yes.
The fence.
Yes. Okay. So I want to put the traditional. We lived in Santa Fe for a long time, so the type of fencing is called a coyote fence or a latia fence. And I really appreciated this property having a little bit of that, what I kind of consider Santa Fe style, so I kind of wanted to lean into that a little bit. So the coyote fence is traditionally natural, unpeeled latias. And so the 4-foot fence would go all the way across the front of the property. I also want to secure the property. My understanding is that javelinas often come onto that property from across the street. So I want to make sure the property is secured and add a gate in there as well that will also be out of the latias. And then eventually add another matching fence just to the front part of the house behind the front door that's a little bit taller to provide a good outdoor hang space.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you. And just hang in there, we're gonna move on in this application.
Okay.
To public comments. Is there anybody present who has, would like to speak for or against this application?
I don't have
And
any.
you haven't received anything? Okay, moving on. Staff comments, nothing from Mr. Davis. And opening the board discussion. I personally have absolutely no problem with a coyote fence.
I'd love to see more of them around.
Yeah, they're really cool.
Yeah.
And yes, you're quite right about coyotes. Not
Um,
coyotes,
yeah,
I mean javelinas.
Oh, yeah,
Javelinas.
we all know.
Oh my gosh. We had the fence in our property just up the road from you for those things. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not sort of traditional, but yeah, the house is certainly not traditional, so it's okay.
Right.
You want to make a motion to approve?
Yes, I will make a motion to approve application, not 24-100 as presented. Do we have a second?
Second?
Mr. Guy seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All against say nay. The 4 ayes have it. Your application is approved.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, you too.
And I
Bye.
appreciate you letting me attend via phone this evening.
Oh, no problem.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Kelly.
All right, finally, last but not least, application, agenda item 6, application 24-102, 1012 Tombstone Canyon. Is that yours?
Yes.
Yeah, would you like to come up and speak into the mic so that, because it's being recorded? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carmen Falcon, and I'm the owner of 1012 Tombstone Canyon. I guess we're not West Boulevard anymore. And I met several of you during the week, and I know several of you. And I want to say, before I start, thank you so much for what you guys do, and that you're preserving our community. I think that's huge.
Thank you.
So my proposal is to replace all of the windows on my almost 100-year home with aluminum out and wooden clad. to look exactly like the windows that are there now.
Okay, so it's as
It's about
straightforward as that.
17 windows, right?
18.
Okay, about 18 windows.
Okay. Thank you. So, public comments, do we have any comments for or against? No, moving along. Staff comments? No comments from staff. Board discussion is open.
I have a question. I walked around the house today, and I noticed in the middle of the east facade, one of the windows looks like it's new, right?
On the east side, are you talking about the narrow,
On the kitchen side.
on the kitchen side? Yes.
Oh yeah, it's this window. That looks like a new window.
Yes.
Yes. That
And so that must have come before the DRB.
yes, and I bought the home and these were replaced in this one,
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all went out there.
Yes, yes.
yeah. Good catch.
That's, am I allowed to talk?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm the contractor, and that's why I put the picture in there, is to show the ones that have been replaced, that, as you saw, that, and saying that is the style, that's what the new ones are like as well.
Is it the same brand? And
I don't think it's the same brand, but they are aluminum clad wood interior.
this one is?
Yes, the one that has been replaced. Or there's 4 of them that have been replaced.
So I guess one thing I noticed with this property is it's immaculate. The wood siding, everything's in really great shape, and nicely painted. The windows are mostly all historic to the house, and you know, if I'm following the historic preservation guidelines, it should be to save all of those to the degree possible, and fix them up to the degree possible. And I did notice the screens are the old style wood screens with the 2 hooks on the top that you swing out. And those combined with the old windows are historic elements, so, and they do look like they're in pretty good condition. The windows, not the screens. The screens definitely look like they have some dry rot or rot on the bottom. So my recommendation would be to go for hurricane windows on the inside that you can take out in the summer and place in the winter, and try and fix up the old windows. You know, take them apart, fix them up if possible, and re-mud them with new glazing putty if that's needed. But then you can get the weatherization tax credit and all that stuff if you do a hurricane window or storm window on the inside, if that's one reason that you're doing this. But that's my opinion. I realize it's probably not popular, not what you were going for, but
I agree, I do agree with you on this one. I mean, I hate to see all these historic windows just go away. Any other?
So they're beautiful windows, as I expressed.
Oh,
when I was
yeah,
out
they're
there.
beautiful. I've gone back and forth in my mind.
And I know that you're trying to keep like for like on the size. I'm not sure these historic windows are gonna allow the egress, the access for emergencies that is required per code. So when you replace the windows, that's gonna have to be interpreted. So there may need to be some siding cut on the outside of the house. Also, the trim is gonna have to be modified.
It's not, they still fit the egress codes for the allowable space, and the trim's not gonna be modified at all.
So they do, you've already
Yes, sir.
interpreted the egress.
Yes.
Beautiful windows, I hate to see them go.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, the wavy glass.
Yeah.
And,
Mr. Gafford, do you have any?
No, I hear what you say. It's 18 windows.
18.
Yeah, I mean, would the, your contractor want to speak to some alternates? I mean,
Well-
you're intimate with these windows, so.
Right, and that's, the usability on the old windows, they weren't designed in the beginning really to keep the airflow out. That's, they're gorgeous and they're beautiful, but as far as functionality and as far as actually keeping, whether inside or outside of your house, the ability to open and close, over time, they are wood windows, and wood windows twist and they move, and as much sanding as you'd have to do to try to make them be able to function properly, there's no way you'd be able to get them to seal off to keep your home temperature controlled at all. And so the kind of the balance in that is to try to keep the look as close to the same as possible, but where you still have functioning windows that serve the purpose, that take care of the homeowner inside the home.
so, and a few of you went to the SHPO presentation, and what's her name?
Ariana?
Ariana Irvin presented those storm windows that
Yeah.
solves the weatherization problem that fit on the inside in the winter, and you can maintain that. And there's also,
And then you have to store them the rest of the year, you have to have a place
Yeah.
to store 18 storm windows. That's just the practicality of what you're saying is where are you gonna put, that's a lot of windows, that's a lot of stuff to try to store to put back in, and I get it, and
and this is contributing,
Yeah.
so,
It is.
you know,
Are
that
you
means
talking
you're
about
getting.
the endos that she talked about? I don't
Yeah,
think-
the windows.
I didn't think those had to come out. I thought they
No,
stayed
you
in
can't.
place.
Yeah, they're.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, because he was talking about removing them every time, but they can stay in place, right?
They can stay in place, or you can remove
Yeah.
them seasonally.
We don't have circulation when we mount those and keep them up. Because they're like one panel, right?
Yeah.
so if you wanted any airflow at all, they'd have to be removed.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
take them out, but that's usually, summer, spring, fall. It's just like that cold winter that's the issue generally. But there's also, lots of products for sealing these old windows. You've got the brass V-strips that you put on the side, and silicone flashing that you put on the top and the bottom as well too. It just takes, you're trading materials for labor, right? So it's kind of a different thing. But, you do risk compromising, that historic integrity of the house and the fact it's listed, historically, and that's something you should take pretty seriously. So, because that's a pretty big, all 18 windows, that's a pretty big change. So.
Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to deny 24-107.
Can we do, can I suggest a couple of compromises?
Okay, sure.
Because I've thought about this a lot. I thought about just taking those out and hanging them all on my walls. I mean, because I have the same passion for that running glass. Could we, in the back of the house, put in new windows? I mean, that we've already proposed because it's in the back of the house.
Where you can't see it?
We can't see it.
How many windows is that back there?
1, 2, 3.
I believe it's 7, there's a picture of that and show it. I think on the map it'll show that it's south facing, whether that's actually south facing or not. If I remember correctly, I think there's 7.
1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5, 6, 7. And those you cannot see from the street.
No.
So are any of those 7 the same size as the 2 windows that have been replaced?
I don't think so.
Maybe. I didn't measure the one that's been replaced because I'm not doing anything, or wasn't proposing to do anything, so I don't know exactly the size of that one. But a lot of them are very similar size, so it is possible.
See where you're going at.
A little give and take?
Well, the concern is, I don't know what they've done to replace that one, and the way that the new ones are going in, the frames are not coming out, so there's not gonna be anything to put over there other than the actual panels, but there are none of the guides, none of the framework. If they tore that out of that one, which I honestly don't know. They're wider, the new ones are wider than the old ones a little bit, and so there's some of the stops that hold the panels in, I'm sure were destroyed and gone, and I don't know if they widened it, I wasn't involved in that, so I can't speak to what the one that's been changed or two that's been changed.
Yeah, there's a lot, because the old windows, they're built with the trim and all the ornament and everything, and so when you put in a new window system that doesn't have counterweights and all that stuff, it's really hard to save all the old decorative trim and make it look right. It's one thing to have the margins match up, but then the other stuff won't necessarily match. So, and it's a lot up to the skills of the carpenter too. So, but the historic guidelines, they don't really differentiate whether it's on the front of the house or the back. It's whether it's historic or not, and what condition it's in.
There is one aluminum window
Yeah.
in the bathroom. You'll let me replace that
Oh,
one,
for
right?
sure. Yes, please.
Absolutely.
So, okay, this is what I'm hearing, that we need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to,
Yeah, weatherize them, fix them up, maybe do the Indos, as that's one brand, there's different brands, see if that's, you're okay with that.
Could we allow them to come, 30 days, come back, there'll be no additional fees, so we'll put on the agenda for next
Yeah.
month.
okay.
We won't make a motion now except to extend.
To table this until.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we can table this for 30 days, but if you guys can give me guidelines on how, and Brian here, how we can go about approaching this, because those windows are it's so cold in the winter.
No, I get it. I have old windows and I put a lot of work into, so, here are my suggestions, and then I would look into the storm windows on the inside, for the winter. And then the other thing I do is I have heavy linens drapes, and those help a lot. Mine are wool. And also just putting some elbow grease into these windows, replacing the sash chains and waxing them up, removing the old paint, and then putting weather stripping around them and seeing how tight you can get them. There are some brass, like I said, brass V's that you can put on the sides and on the top and bottom. It takes some good craftsmanship, but you can get these tight and working properly. Put wax on the sides so they don't hang up.
Okay.
So, but that's my recommendations, having done quite a number of them myself.
So, okay. I make a motion to table application 24-102 and give the homeowner and the contractor 30 days to figure out a solution to keep these windows, because we all seem to feel pretty strongly that we do not want to replace 18 historic windows in your home that are in decent condition. Does that motion sound correct?
It's fine.
Give me a second.
Okay, Mr. Geis seconds. All in favor say aye. Aye. All against say nay. Okay, so it is unanimous with this form that see if you can find a solution to save those windows.
You know, but it's not always easy in this town to find a craftsman or to find, you know, I was lucky to have Ryan, so I guess, but it's not, so if I need to get some expertise,
What I can do is I'll call you tomorrow
okay,
and I can see if they can look at your application at SHPO, which is the State Historic Preservation, and maybe they could give you some ideas.
okay, that would
what
help
to do.
because,
Adriana Urban is really
Yeah.
good with that.
Yeah, she's really good about
She's
that.
lovely.
So I'll call you tomorrow, mid-morning, and then I'll send over your application to her and see if she can give us some feedback.
okay, yeah,
That would be great. That would be great, yeah.
And if I might say, your last resort, if you don't like what we give, you always go to the Board of Adjustment.
Yeah, if you don't, like, not, because they tabled it, there's not really anything to appeal, but if you came back in 30 days and they denied it, then you can appeal that decision through the Board of Adjustments.
okay. And then you'll put me on the agenda for next.
Yes. we
Yes,
will.
I'll put you on the agenda for the October meeting.
We want to make you a regular.
Yeah, I'll be a regular. I know what we're doing here, so,
Yeah.
and that's what the purpose is.
Thank
And
you.
see how bad Brian is.
Sorry, Ryan.
No pressure.
No pressure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Sorry.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a creative challenge.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get me a mink coat. In the winter. Oh my gosh.
Did you want me to see if I can get Stephen Amaryllis on the phone for application number one?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so that is application number, agenda item 1, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can get him on the
Alright.
phone.
We went up there. We got a morning lookout going
Yeah.
up to see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't see it.
Up the young boy, yeah.
I mean,
You can't, you
I'm
gotta
happy
go.
to make a motion to say, fine, no one can see it except for the moon probably. So,
If I can't get him, if you don't want to make a motion, that's up to you.
would that be acceptable to you then?
Yeah, I love seeing this house move along. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been worked on for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for as long as I've been on the DOT, not longer.
Yeah.
No, he didn't answer.
I would
So
be absolutely good.
if you wanted to go ahead and make a motion.
Well, if you want to have a.
Well, actually, we have to have a public hearing, so we
Yeah.
still have to do this thing. And I do have a public comment.
Okay, and we have a public comment, okay.
So if you wanted to declare the,
Okay, I declare the public hearing open for application 24-101.
so I have one comment in favor by Mr. Hunter Baccarat. He is writing in support of the proposed deck and that was requested. The project appears to suit the property. There he is. Hi, Mr. Amaryllis. This is Nina. We're at the DRB meeting and we were doing your application for 237B Youngblood Hill. That's okay. I'm going to put you on speaker, and if they have any questions for you, you can. All right, hold on just one second. But there was a comment in support.
Hello, Mr. Amarias.
Hi.
Okay, so,
And that's the only one I had.
all right, so we already did the public hearing.
You got to close the public hearing.
Close the public hearing and tell us about your application.
Yes, there's two parts to it. On the stairway, We're wanting a simple design, just wood and corrugated metal, for the fencing. On the rear of the house, we're asking for permission for a deck, probably about 8 inches off of the ground, not very high. Simple, redwood on the top for handrailing and treated wood for underneath.
Okay,
And we don't plan on painting it, keeping it natural. And to color, really, that's about it.
okay, thank you. All right, then moving along, we've already done the public hearing. Staff comments? Anything? Nothing? Okay, and opening the board discussion? I'm okay with this
Totally okay with
proposal,
it.
actually, I think it's good. Anything from you, Mr. Leftley? No? How about you, Mr. Guy?
No, I make a motion. to-
Okay, Mr. Guy is going to make a motion.
Yep, I make a motion that application 24-101 is approved as submitted.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Gaffer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against, say nay. Okay, 4 ayes. There's only 4 of us tonight, Mr. Omrea, so your application passes unanimously.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right,
really do appreciate you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Appreciate you too.
Now, anybody else we can call?
No, Mr. Guy's here, we just got a table
Okay,
here.
that's it. All right.
Oh,
The table is, all right, and this takes us to.
we need to make a motion to table his
Oh,
though.
yeah, let's go back to his.
Sorry.
We were waiting to see if Mr. Schreiber showed up.
And I did find an email that he sent, and he was going to be excused, he was gonna be out of town.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, I wasn't in for a little bit, so.
Yeah, okay, so, application -2492, I make a motion to table until the next meeting of the DRB in October. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Gaffer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against say nay. Okay, application 24-92 is tabled until the next meeting. And then moving along to
Item number 7.
agenda item 7, approval of the August 7, 2024, bye-bye, 2024 meeting minutes. I make a motion to.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead.
My name is misspelled.
Oh, my gosh.
See,
What?
somebody.
Is
Where
I
at?
am not Mr. Gaga.
Where is that?
Wish they could, but no.
Wait,
Where at?
where does it say
Public hearing.
Gaffer?
Oh! I did not do these minutes, just so
No,
we're
I
clear.
know. See,
I had somebody else type them up for me.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I did
Where
do
does
them,
it
but
say
not
that?
type. I will make that correction.
That's a bad one.
I am
Oh my
so sorry.
That's perfectly all right, but. you know.
I'm glad you caught
And
that.
so I will make a motion to approve the minutes, provided that the record, my name is spelled correctly on page 2.
Oh, wow.
Right, there you go.
I second the motion. All in favor say aye.
So,
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all against say nay. Okay, 4 ayes have it with the contingency that Mr. Gaffer's name be spelled correctly on page 2. All right.
And I so apologize.
That's
I
it.
should have caught that.
Yeah.
Staff comments, nothing. We have a bunch of administratively approved items. We'll close that. Future agenda item suggestions.
We'll
Already
start
got
bringing
quite a
some of the
few.
ones back
Yeah,
in October. We'll bring them back one at a time.
yeah.
Depending on how many applications, it could be 2 at a time.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, and I make a motion to adjourn this meeting of the Design Review Board. Do we have a second? Seconded by Mr. Leftley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All against say nay. Okay, this meeting of the Design Review Board is adjourned. Thank you.